Let me ask you this, John Taylor. These bailouts that we're in the middle of right now are incredibly expensive, and they are unplanned. So has Senator McCain changed at all his plans on tax cuts? Can you lay out these big bailouts and still have the tax cuts that he's been promoting, the Bush tax cuts extended and more?
Well, you need to have tax cuts to focus on creating jobs and get America going. And I'd say here the contrast with Senator Obama is stark. Senator Obama wants to raise tax rates on people, small businesses, other kinds of businesses, dividends, capital gains. I can't think of a worse thing to be doing in tough economic times. It's like completely backwards in terms of economic policy. So Senator McCain wants to make sure the economy grows. He has a detailed plan to balance the budget by the end of his first term. It requires discipline to keep spending growth from being too rapid, and it, of course, builds on the fact that the economy will expand again if we take the right policy. So let's,
John, as economists,
most appropriate.
John, as economists, we owe the listeners honesty. I admire what Senator McCain has done on earmarks. Am I wrong in saying that earmarks represent on the order of 5% of the magnitude of the tax cuts that he is advocating?
You're wrong to say that that's the only thing he has to do to control spending.
What other
a set of options on corporate loopholes, on now that we're able to successfully bring home our troops from Iraq with victory, he's able to spend much less there, $135 billion right there in terms of 2013 at least.
John, are you prepared?
So
are you prepared to make
things? And you can look through the budget. It's a matter of getting revenues to grow a little over 5%, holding spending control at 2.5%. It's very doable. It's laid out.
Larry Summers, one more question, then we have to let Professor Taylor go.
John, we're both advocates for the candidates we believe would best be president. Are you prepared to make available a detailed budget documenting your claim that Senator McCain will balance the budget with 2013 for external scrutiny and to show where the cuts are from? You made that claim in a very strong and direct way. Is that something you're prepared to make available for external scrutiny?
The information's already been made available to the Tax Policy Center.
And what was the Tax Policy Center's conclusion, John? Its conclusion was that there would be trillions of dollars of extra deficits in Senator McCain's plan relative to Senator Obama's plan, was the conclusion of the Tax Policy Center. Trillions of dollars of debt.
I don't think they included anything on spending. They included nothing on spending on this. And so I'd say the information is there. You're welcome to go look at it. But their interpretation, where you just don't include any spending control, is completely off.
John, I am sorry that you are speaking in this way, and I make the challenge. The Tax Policy Center has laid out $3.4 trillion of extra deficits from Senator McCain's plan. Show us.
They don't include the spending.
Show us the spending cuts.
He's already
the spending cuts.
I mentioned some of them to you already, Larry. They're out there, and
we will let observers more objective than you and I make that judgment. I think there'll be very few who agree with you.
John Taylor in Green Bay.
Very few to agree with what is going to balance.